Nice bluegill. Bluegill are my favorite to catch. They are my favorite to eat. They are absolutely a blast. And we're just going to be trolling around in the shallows looking for some late beds. A lot of the fish are already off beds and they're done spawning, but there's still some really nice fish on beds, and we're going to try to keep a few of them for a fish fry tonight and just have a blast throwing plastics at some nice bluegill. Oh yeah, one more thing. I might just throw a bass or two in there. You never know. I might throw in a largemouth or two. Boy, you talk about an epic battle on a little noodle rod with 4-pound test. Epic. A big debate is the size of fish, what fish to keep. There's a million different opinions, but my opinion, if you have to think about it, throw the fish back. It's not a keeper. And that 8 to 9 inch range of fish is the ideal fish to keep. I call them oil poppers. They are the absolute best fish to eat. You start getting into the really big fish, you know, yeah, you probably want to put them back, but especially the ones that are just, you know, we've all been there, caught those bluegill, and we're like, throw those back. Those are the fish that need to go back in the water. You know, the 6.5 to 7 3/4 inch fish, put those back. And you know what? You don't need to keep a limit every time. Keep what you're going to eat and throw the rest back. You know, I mean, yeah, they're bluegill, but they need to be managed too, and they're absolutely a phenomenal fish. I mean, for kids, for adults, like I said, they're my favorite fish, so we need to protect them too. Little largemouth. I found a nice patch of beds here, and we're getting pretty late in the year for the fish to still be up on beds, but with the goofy spring that we've had, there's still some pods of really nice fish up on beds. A lot of fish are in post spawn and just cruising the shallows, but you'll see me using a different rod here and there, and what I'm doing is I'm just throwing little plastics. Okay, and the reason I like using these twister tails like this and these curly grub tails, the main reason is I don't use a cork when I'm doing this kind of fishing. And what the grub tail does is it gives my baits a really slow fall, and that's when 90% of your bites are going to come from. Them gills are going to strike when that bait's dropping down towards their beds, and they'll just pick it up because they're guarding. So what I'm doing is I'm just throwing different sizes and different colors, so the fish don't get bored with me throwing the same thing in the same patch of beds over and over. And another awesome thing these bright colors help with is strike indicators. You can see, you get some glasses, you find the beds, you pitch bright colored baits in there, and as soon as the bait disappears, boom, you got the fish. It's awesome. Well, that sucked. I got to retie here. I just had a really nice bull of a gill on, and I'm trying to film this myself, and I went to grab the camera to change the angle, and he popped my line right off. Swam off with my grubby. We'll try to get him again. We're ready to go. Another one for the box. Fish, but not quite big enough to make the oil pop. You know, this is a perfect example of the class fish I was talking about earlier. These are the guys you want to let go. These are the guys that are in 2 years, you know, even next year they'll be a lot better, but in 2 years this fish will be really, really nice. So let these go. Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. We're gonna be eating good tonight. I'm pretty excited. Fish on! Wrong flavor. Another beauty. You know, when you're fishing the gills like this and you're looking for beds, I was just having a little nutty bar cruising through here going to the next spot to check, and some of these little patches of beds, I mean, aren't any bigger than the size of the hood of your vehicle, stop, fish them. I mean, some of them can have some really, really nice fish on them. Just keep your eyes open, man. You never know when you're going to roll across a nice pad of gills. Alright, here's another little something I like to do when I'm fishing these gills up shallow, especially bed gills. After you harass them a whole bunch and you can't seem to get any more bites from the really good males guarding the beds, what I like to do is, we talked about using the curly grub tails, but I'll put a straight body on and I'll go to even a smaller head, lead head, and what going to the smaller head does, I create more of a finesse bait, and I also still get that really slow fall. And what this smaller bait's going to do, it's going to trigger a lot more strikes to these pressured fish if you just kind of fish it slower and let off them a little bit. And I mean, I can still see there's some really nice gills still on these beds, and I'd like to get a few more for the fry tonight. So this is a great little tip. Once you've caught a bunch of the aggressive fish, switch to smaller and go slower. You'll still pick more beds out. Fish fry. We're doing really good. We're getting some really nice gills. I just wanted to take a second and say that, you know, when it comes to sport fishing, a lot of people don't really think of the bluegill as much of a sport fish, but if you really get in depth with it, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it pays off big time. You can have some great supper. I mean, you ain't gonna find this on the shelves at Walmart. But I mean, really, we need to take care of these resources that we have, and the bluegill age classes and just the fishery itself. I mean, we can't forget about these guys too. I mean, they're an awesome fish. A lot of us got our start fishing with the bluegill, and I'm gonna fish for these guys till the day I die. So we need to really take care of our resources, all of them. Right in the sludge. That kind of paralyzed him. Really nice gill. Get him kind of cleaned off here. That's a nice gill. Really nice gill. Whew. What I did is I had to really go finesse on these fish. I mean, they're really getting finicky. But you can see it pays off. That's a, if I can hold him still, that's a really nice gill. Well, I better get him in the live well before he ends up back in the water. I've got a few more to catch. We're just about done. I hope you enjoyed watching little bluegill fishing. And I'm going to get back at it because I'm going to have some fish to clean tonight. Minnesota Outdoor Journal, I'm Joshua John Wells.